Secrets of Coins, revealing the rare coins in history, disclosed.
The year was 2005, the land of 10,000. Lakes was about to leave its mark, not on a map, but on millions of pockets across America. A design so peaceful, so pure. A quiet lake, pine trees, a fisherman casting his line. But what most people don't know is that some of these quarters hide a secret that could turn a single 25-cent piece into $15,000 cash. This is the 2005 Minnesota State Quarter, and it's one of the wildest modern error stories in U.S. coin history. Support our effort and subscribe, like, and share so we can bring you more videos like this about rare coins, hidden treasures, and stories buried in plain sight. The Minnesota Quarter was the 32nd release in the 50 State Quarters program, issued on April 4, 2005. It celebrates the state's nickname, Land of 10,000 Lakes. The reverse design shows a fisherman in a boat, a dense forest of pines, and a loon gliding on the lake, the state bird of Minnesota. The obverse still features George Washington's portrait, designed by John Flanagan, with the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty and God We Trust, and $quarter. This coin is made from the classic copper nickel. Clad composition: 91.67% copper, 8.33% nickel, weighing 5.67 grams, and measuring 24.26 millimeter. It was struck in both Philadelphia P and Denver D mints, and the total mintage exceeded 8 million pieces, making it one of the more common quarters of its time. But rarity isn't always about how many exist. It's about how many are perfect, and how many carry an error that slipped through. In Minnesota, it delivered an entire storm of them. Collectors discovered more than 50 different double die varieties on this single quarter, one of the largest numbers ever recorded on a modern coin. Some show extra trees on the right side of the design, near the lake and the fisherman, like ghost trees growing out of thin air. Others show multiple tree trunks, shifted outlines, or strong doubling that's visible to the naked eye. These are called extra tree double dies, and they come in subtle form, from faint shadows to bold, clearly split tree lines. It's one of those rare times when a small detail changes everything. Let's talk money, because this quarter can be worth way more than 25 cents. A 25 Minnesota quarter with a strong extra tree double die in MS67 condition, sold for $15,600. Another with slightly weaker doubling sold for $9,200. Even mid-grade examples in MS65 can fetch $1,000 to $2,500, depending on the strength of the doubling. Regular uncirculated quarters, if near flawless, still bring in $200, $500 at times. And proof-like examples, struck with unusual die polish, have sold for $3,100. Now, why did this happen? During minting, the dies that strike coins sometimes shift slightly while being prepared. That's called hub doubling. In 2005 at the Denver Mint, several working dies were misaligned, just enough to leave duplicated elements on the finished coins. Instead of scrapping them, production continued, and those flawed dies struck tens of thousands of quarters. Each variety was slightly different, making the Minnesota Quarter one of the most studied and collected modern coins in existence. So what should you look for? Start with a Denver Mint Mark D. Most double die examples came from Denver, not Philadelphia. Then, focus your eyes on the trees to the right of the loon and fisherman. If you see extra trunks, shadow lines, or duplicate edges that look like another tree peeking behind, you might have one of the valuable extra tree errors. A simple magnifying glass or even your phone's macro lens can reveal it. But condition still matters. Even the rarest error loses value if it's scratched or worn. Coins graded MS67 or higher are incredibly scarce and command the top 5-figure prices. Let's talk grading and selling. If you suspect you have one, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Make sure to request attribution for the doubled die variety. They'll label it as a 2005 extra tree DDR on the slab. That label alone can triple the value. For selling, smaller finds can do well on eBay, whatnot, or Facebook coin groups. But for the big 5-figure coins, go through heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, or great collections. That's where serious collectors bid high. Let's take a step back for the story behind the design. Minnesota joined the Union in 1858, and the phrase land of 10,000 lakes wasn't an exaggeration. The state actually has over 11,800 lakes. Fishing isn't just recreation there, it's a part of life. The loon, with its haunting call echoing across still waters, symbolizes the peace of nature that defines the North Star State. And that's why this quarter resonates so deeply, not just for Minnesotans, but for anyone who's ever stood beside a lake at sunrise and felt time slow down. Now here's a collector's tip. Many beginners think only silver quarters are valuable. But this modern copper nickel piece proves otherwise. Even in circulation, the Minnesota quarter is one of the most searched for coins of the entire 50-state series. Roll hunters and change checkers around. The world still look for those extra trees every day. So next time you get a 2005 quarter in your change, don't let it slip by. Flip it over, check the mint mark, and inspect the trees. That tiny extra branch could be your ticket to a $15,000 payday. Support our effort and subscribe, like, and share so we can keep bringing you stories about rare coins, lost treasures, and the secrets hiding in plain sight. Because sometimes the most ordinary coin can tell an extraordinary story.